Want to take your builds from this to this? Stay tuned for 7 tips to get better at building in Minecraft. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be discussing 7 tips to get better at building in Minecraft. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed the video. And without any further ado, let's get started. Coming in at tip number 1, it is to have good build palettes. A build palette is a set of blocks that goes into a build. For example, for a simple starter house, your build palette could include cobblestone, oak wood, oak logs, and glass. A build palette is important because it breaks up the build, making it look a little bit more nice. A house like this only has one block as its build palette, which makes it look terrible. Also, the block is terrible itself. A house like this has a build palette that is very ugly to look at. The diamond blocks and gold blocks are nice to have, but not nice to live in. My absolute favorite build palette is dark prismarine, cyan terracotta, quartz block, and grey glass. You can build many things from it, like this modern house. At tip number 2, we have to give your builds a nice shape. Here are 2 builds with a nice build palette. Why does the one on the right look better than the one on the left? The house on the left has a square box, while this one has a nice L shape. Most of your houses should have different shapes because a square just looks too plain. Your house doesn't need to have the L shape, but it is a big step up from the normal square. A website that I like to personally use is Pixel Circle Generator. It helps you make circles easily so that I can make builds that have more shape. At tip number 3, we have to layer your builds. Layering your builds is probably the easiest and best tip you can give to anyone. Layering your builds doesn't mean pushing back the blocks or moving them forward, but to add depth in the build. A simple example that I can give of this is to add buttons to your builds. Something that seems so small but can have such a big impact. Here's a before and after of me adding buttons to my house. Another example is to stop using glass blocks. They look so ugly and give the build no depth, and to start using glass pane. Also, glass panes are way cheaper to get in survival. Here's another before and after. The last example that I can give you to heavily improve your builds is to give your roof depth. A roof that is flush with the wall just looks so ugly. But making it stick out always helps. Here is the last before and after. If you've made it this far into the video and it has helped you in any way, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave your tips down below. Coming in at tip number 4, we have to make your builds logical. Fantastical builds, like floating islands, look nice, but there are some rules you just can't break. A big one that I see is players placing heavy objects on very soft objects. In almost all my houses, the cobblestone is the very bottom layer, because it's capable of carrying the wood on top of it, giving it that foundation feel. Another huge mistake that players make is to make their builds break the law of physics. I mean, come on. Look at this house. Adding a simple pillar can greatly improve how it looks. This tip should not discourage you from building magical builds like floating islands, but focus more on the details that make or break a build. Tip number 5 is to outline your builds. This is something that I see people have a lot of trouble with, especially in wood houses. Giving your builds the nice logs in the corners is very important, and going back to the last tip makes it look logical. Your roofs are no exception to this tip. Instead of having a roof made of one type of block, give it a nice outline using cobblestone stairs. At tip number 6, we have to terraform around your builds. What is terraforming? Terraforming is changing the land to fit where your build is going to be. You wouldn't want your house to be on the edge of a cliff, so terraform around it to give it a nice little foundation that it can stand on. Terraforming also means adding trees and greenery. A simple trick that I like to use is to place bone meal around my build and take all the vibrant flowers, like the poppies, out of it. At tip number 7, we have to make the inside look as nice as the outside. People love building giant houses that are empty. Adding nice lighting, like lanterns, can help, But if you want to take your interior to the next level, click the video on the screen right now. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video, and join the Discord in the link below to help improve your building. Have a good day, and goodbye.